Just killed a man, put a gun again.
10 songs, 10 moments that changed rock forever. Some came from pain, some came from rage, some came from a broken heart in a small room, late at night. They made rock rise, and some of them watched it fall. You think you know the greatest rock song ever made. You are wrong. Tonight, we count down the 10 songs that built rock and the true stories behind them. The rise, the fall, the truth no one talks about. Stay to the end. Number 1 will break your heart. Number 10. Bill Haley and his Comets, Rock Around the Clock. Close your eyes and picture it. It is 1954. The radio is playing soft songs, slow songs, safe songs. Then this beat comes in, and it hits like a fist on a table. Kids jump out of their chairs. Parents get nervous. Something new is being born, and nobody can stop it. This song was recorded in New York City for Decca Records in a fast, cheap session that almost got thrown away. At first, it barely sold. It sat quiet for a whole year. Then a movie called Blackboard Jungle used it in the opening scene, and everything changed. Teenagers in movie theaters started ripping seats out of the floor. They were dancing in the aisles. This one song helped turn rock and roll from a small side style into a real force that scared the whole country. Here is a fact that still shocks people. This song was actually the B-side. The record label thought another song would be the hit. They were wrong. The side nobody believed in became the song that opened the door for every rock band that came after. Today, younger fans barely know this song. It sounds simple next to what came later. But you have to understand something. Before this record, rock did not really exist as its own thing. This is the spark. This is where the fire started. If you are enjoying this journey so far, do me a favor and smash that like button. It really helps this story reach more people who love real music history like you do. Now let's move to a song that took that spark and turned it into a guitar sound the whole world would copy. Number 9. Chuck Berry, Johnny B. Goode. Picture a young man from a poor town, carrying an old guitar case, dreaming about a stage he has never even seen. That is the story inside this song. That dream, that hunger. You can hear it in every note. This track came out in 1958 on Chess Records in Chicago, produced with a raw, live feeling that studios rarely captured back then. The lyrics tell the story of a country boy who cannot read or write so well, but he can play a guitar like nobody's business. It became one of the most copied guitar songs in history. Almost every rock band after this one studied that opening riff. You have heard pieces of it hiding inside hundreds of songs, even if you never noticed. Here is something wild. NASA actually sent this song into outer space. It was placed on a golden record aboard the Voyager spacecraft, meant to represent human music to any life form that might find it someday. Think about that. A song about a poor boy with a guitar, now floating through the stars. Even with all that history, casual fans today mostly know the name Chuck Berry, but they do not always know this song was the actual blueprint. The guitar riff became so common in rock music that people forgot where it truly came from. That is what happens to real pioneers sometimes. Their fingerprints get left on everything, but their name gets left behind. Next, we go to a sound that came out of a garage in England, and it hit harder than anything on the radio at the time.
Hey, Rocklore community. Before we continue, let's have a real talk for a second, bro. You know, this isn't just a channel to us. And I hope it's not just a place you come to watch a video and then forget about it. This is a community. It's a place where we get to dig up the secrets of rock and roll, share our favorite riffs, and celebrate the artists who maybe didn't get the love they deserved. Right now, only about 1% of our viewers are subscribed. We can change that together and grow this community. All you have to do is hit that subscribe button with the notification bell on. When you do, you're not just helping a channel grow. You're becoming a member of the Rocklore family. You're signaling to us and to YouTube that these stories matter, that this music is worth preserving, and that this community is a place you want to be. Subscribing is your way of making sure you're always in the loop. It means you'll be the first to know when we unearth a forgotten legend, drop a new countdown, or dive into a piece of rock history you've never heard before. So if you're a true fan of the lore, if you get that same feeling of discovery that I do, then come join us. It takes 1 second to be a part of something bigger.
Every story you see here takes hours of digging, piecing together history, and bringing forgotten moments back to life. If you'd like to support that work, you can become a channel member. It's just the cost of a cup of coffee, but it helps us keep these stories alive, and for that, we're grateful. Number 8. Little Richard, Tutti Frutti. Feel this one in your chest. It is loud, it is wild, it is joy and chaos at the same time. When this song hit the airwaves, it did not ask permission. It just exploded. Recorded in 1955 at a small studio in New Orleans for Specialty Records, this track was built on a piano pounding so hard it almost broke. The lyrics were playful, full of energy, built for dancing, not deep thinking. That was the point. It gave people permission to feel something loud and free in a time that was very controlled and quiet. This song helped shape the wild, high-energy side of rock that later artists like the Beatles openly said changed their lives. Here is the fun part. The original lyrics were actually a little too wild for the time, so they had to be softened before release. The rewritten, cleaned-up version is the one that became the massive hit, and almost nobody today knows the wilder version even existed. Little Richard later stepped away from rock music for years, torn between his music career and his personal beliefs. That choice pulled him out of the spotlight during a critical moment, and many younger fans today underrate just how much he shaped everything that came after. This is a song about freedom, and about a man who kept fighting between two parts of himself for his whole life. Now we jump ahead to a song that basically invented the sound of hard rock, years before anyone called it that. Number 7. The Kinks, You Really Got Me.
Girl, you really got me going. You
Imagine a young guitar player, frustrated, broke, with no real budget for fancy gear. So what does he do? He grabs a razor blade and cuts up his own amp speaker just to get a dirtier, angrier sound. That small, desperate moment created something huge. Released in 1964 in London, this song used that torn-up, distorted guitar tone to create a raw, punchy riff that nobody had really heard before. The lyrics are simple, about a love so strong it shakes a person completely. But it was the sound, not just the words, that mattered most. Musicians and critics later pointed to this song as one of the earliest sparks of what would become hard rock and even heavy metal. Here is the twist most people never hear. That famous, aggressive guitar tone almost did not happen. It came from pure necessity, not planning. A broken speaker, fixed with a sewing needle and a razor, by accident, became one of the most important sounds in rock history. Because this song came from a smaller band compared to the giants of that era, its true importance often gets buried under bigger names. But almost every heavy riff you love today owes something to this moment. From a broken speaker in London, we now travel to the smoky clubs of Los Angeles, where danger and poetry lived on the same stage. Number 6. The Doors. Light My Fire. Picture a small, dark club, cigarette smoke hanging in the air. A singer who feels more like a poet than a pop star, standing close to the edge of control. That tension, that danger, that is what this song feels like. This track was released in 1967 on Elektra Records, built around a long, hypnotic organ intro that radio stations originally thought was way too long to play. The lyrics speak about desire, about wanting something so badly it feels like fire. It became a defining song of the psychedelic rock era, a soundtrack for a generation that was questioning everything around them. Here is a story that still gets talked about. When the band performed this song on a major television show, they were asked to change one word in the lyrics to make it more acceptable for television audiences. In the end, the singer sang the original word anyway, live, in front of millions of people. That single choice reportedly got the band banned from that show for good. Because the band's story ended so young and so suddenly, a lot of casual listeners today only remember the tragedy, and not how carefully crafted this specific song actually was. This next song takes that same fearless energy and turns the volume up even louder. Number 5. Led Zeppelin, Whole Lotta Love. Feel this one build. It starts low, it starts patient, then it explodes into one of the most powerful riffs ever recorded. This is rock turning into something almost physical, something you feel in your bones, not just your ears. Released in 1969 on Atlantic Records, this song became a defining piece of what people now call hard rock, built around a thick, heavy guitar riff and a wild, echoing middle section that felt almost otherworldly for its time.
Way down inside, honey,
The lyrics are direct, raw, and full of desire, matching the intensity of the music behind them. It became one of the band's biggest calling cards and helped define the entire sound of arena rock in the years that followed.
need it. I'm gonna give you my love. I'm gonna
Here is something a lot of fans forget. The strange, swirling sound effects in the middle of the song were created almost by accident, through studio experiments that were never fully planned out. Engineers were literally testing new studio tricks in real time, and what they created became iconic.
give you my love. Oh, want a whole lot of love.
Sadly, part of this band's legacy is also marked by loss, since their drummer passed away years later, ending the group at the height of their power. That tragic ending is part of why so many fans still feel such a strong emotional pull toward their music today. We are halfway through this countdown now. Which song has hit you the hardest so far? Type it in the comments. I really want to know. Now we move into a song wrapped in real controversy, one we teased you about at the very start of this video. Number 4. Sex Pistols. God Save the Queen.
God save the Queen, the fascist regime.
This next one is not just a song. It is a moment where music and politics collided head-on, and the fallout changed how the world saw rock forever.
It made you a moron.
Released in 1977 in the United Kingdom, this song used a title that sounded like a national anthem, but the lyrics underneath were angry, raw, and deeply critical of the establishment at the time. It arrived during a very tense period in British history, and it landed like a bomb.
God save the Queen.
Now let's fully unpack this, since we promised you earlier in the video. Some people say this song was simply an honest protest from young people who felt ignored by their own government. In interviews over the years, it has been said the band never expected the reaction to be this extreme.
She ain't no human being. That is not.
There are different versions of the story about exactly how far the label pushed the shock value on purpose for attention. What we do know for certain is the impact. Major broadcasters refused to play the song at all. It was pulled from store shelves in some places. Chart reporting around this song became controversial too, with some people claiming the numbers were quietly altered to keep it from reaching the very top of the charts. Whether that is fully true or not, the mistrust alone tells you how much power this one song had. That censorship did something interesting. Instead of killing the song, it made it legendary. Banning it turned it into a symbol. It pushed the band's image further underground, and it turned this single song into one of the most talked about protest records in rock history. That is why this tune is not just music. It is history. It is proof that a song can scare people in power enough to try and silence it completely. From rebellion and shouting, we now move to a much heavier, darker sound, born out of pain in an industrial town. Number 3. Black Sabbath. Paranoid. Picture gray skies, factory smoke, heavy machines. This song grew out of that kind of hard working class world, and you can hear that weight in every single note. Released in 1970, In the United Kingdom, this track was actually written quickly, almost as filler, to finish out an album that needed a couple more minutes of music. The lyrics describe a heavy feeling of sadness and disconnection, something many listeners quietly related to but rarely talked about openly at the time. This song is now widely seen as one of the true founding moments of heavy metal, influencing generations of darker, heavier rock that followed. Here is the twist almost nobody expects. This song, which became one of the band's most famous tracks worldwide, was written and recorded in a matter of minutes, almost as an afterthought, not as the planned single. The label needed a short extra track, and this rushed idea became a defining piece of music history. Because it was treated at first as a throwaway song, its true emotional depth about heavy sadness and isolation is still underappreciated by casual listeners today. People sing along to the energy without always hearing the pain underneath it. Now we move into the 90s, into a bedroom in a rainy town, where one young voice was about to change everything again. Number 2. Nirvana, Smells Like Teen Spirit. Feel this one carefully. There is exhaustion in it. There is frustration in it. There is a whole generation that felt unheard, finally getting a song loud enough to speak for them. Released in 1991 on DGC Records, this song helped push a whole new sound, often called grunge, into the mainstream almost overnight. The lyrics are famously loose and open to interpretation, more about a feeling than a clear story, which is part of why so many different listeners connected with it in their own personal way. It knocked massive pop acts off the top of the charts and completely reshaped what mainstream rock radio sounded like for years afterward. Here is a detail that still amazes people. The now famous guitar riff was almost left off the song entirely, because the singer originally thought it sounded too much like a very different, well-known band, and he almost scrapped it out of embarrassment. The tragedy is that the singer passed away just a few years after this song made him one of the most famous musicians alive, and that loss still colors how fans hear this song today. What sounds like rebellion on the surface is, underneath, also a cry of real pain. And now, we arrive at the song many people call the single greatest rock song ever recorded.
Hey, Rocklore community. Before we continue, let's have a real talk for a second, bro. You know, this isn't just a channel to us. And I hope it's not just a place you come to watch a video and then forget about it. This is a community. It's a place where we get to dig up the secrets of rock and roll, share our favorite riffs, and celebrate the artists who maybe didn't get the love they deserved. Right now, only about 1% of our viewers are subscribed. We can change that together and grow this community. All you have to do is hit that subscribe button with the notification bell on. When you do, you're not just helping a channel grow, you're becoming a member of the Rocklore family. You're signaling to us and to YouTube that these stories matter, that this music is worth preserving, and that this community is a place you want to be. Subscribing is your way of making sure you're always in the loop. It means you'll be the first to know when we unearth a forgotten legend, drop a new countdown, or dive into a piece of rock history you've never heard before. So if you're a true fan of the lore, If you get that same feeling of discovery that I do, then come join us. It takes 1 second to be a part of something bigger.
Every story you see here takes hours of digging, piecing together history, and bringing forgotten moments back to life. If you'd like to support that work, you can become a channel member. It's just the cost of a cup of coffee, but it helps us keep these stories alive, and for that, we're grateful. Number 1. Queen. Bohemian Rhapsody. Take a breath before this one. This song is not simple. It is not just a rock song. It is an opera, a confession, and a goodbye, all wrapped into one 6-minute piece of music. Released in 1975 on EMI Records, this track broke almost every rule of what a hit single was supposed to be. It had no repeating chorus in the normal sense. It shifted from a slow piano ballad into a full choir-style opera section, into a heavy rock finish, and then faded into a quiet close. Record executives at the time thought it was way too long and way too strange for radio. The band refused to cut it down. The lyrics have been debated for decades, with many listeners hearing a story about guilt, identity, and facing death with honesty. Here is something that still gives fans chills. The layered vocal harmonies in the middle section were recorded again and again, take after take, for many hours, stacking voice on top of voice until the tape itself was reportedly worn thin from being played back so many times during recording. Years later, the world learned the singer had been living with a serious illness in his final years, one he kept mostly private from the public for a long time. Looking back at these lyrics now, so many fans hear them differently. Almost like the singer was quietly preparing the world for a goodbye long before anyone else understood. That is the real reason this song still hits so hard today. It is not just brilliant, it is honest. It is one person staring straight at his own mortality and turning it into something the whole world still sings along to. Thank you so much for watching this whole journey with us. If you want more real, honest, deep dives into music history like this one, hit subscribe, and we will keep this culture alive, one hidden story at a time.